Welcome friends, my name is Sagar Deshmukh. In the last video we have discussed the first part of design of combined rectangular footing. In this video we'll discuss the next part of the design. First of all, I will revise what we have done in the last video and later on we'll move towards the next part. This was our problem statement in which they have given the dimension of two columns which are resting on the footing. After that, they have also given the grade of steel, grade of concrete. They have also provided the information that the projection of footing which is on the side of column A is limited to 590 mm. The SBC of soil is 280 kN per meter square. So like this the data was given. We have calculated first of all we have written the given data. After that we have calculated the self weight of footing by considering the self weight as 10% of total load on column. Then we have calculated the total load by adding the self weight plus loads on two column. After that we have calculated the area of footing. Area of footing is calculated by taking the ratio of total load divided by soil bearing capacity. Total load which we have calculated was 2750 divided by SBC of soil. We have got the area of 9.821. After calculating the area, we have proceeded towards the calculation of length of footing, in which this projection was given. It was 590 mm. By mistake I have written it 570. So please correct that. So because of which this addition comes 2.75. I have already told that in the previous video also. So this is 590. So that's why it will be 2.75. So the dimension of footing or length of footing which we have calculated was this 590 is projection given already. This is the distance of effective position of load due to two columns, that is from column A. So it was at 2.16 meter from column A and at 1.44 from column B. We have calculated the total length of footing, that was 5.5 meter. We have also determined the width of footing by taking the ratio of length with area. So area divided by length, we have got the width of footing, that was 1.8. After that we have calculated the net soil pressure, net upward soil pressure. For the further calculation we require what amount of upward pressure soil is exerting on the footing. So that's why we have taken these loads divided by area of footing, that will be the net upward soil pressure. Okay, we have solved this problem till this point. Now today we'll move towards the next part. So as per discussion, as per calculation in the last video, we have calculated the total load till now. Total load. After that we have calculated the area of footing. Then we have moved towards the calculation of length and width of footing, and we have also calculated the upward pressure, net upward pressure or soil reaction. Okay, so this thing we have calculated till now. So we have got the distance of this projection. I have shown one image of 3D image. I have tried to draw one 3D image of the combined footing. These are the columns and this is part of footing. So we have already given this length projection, that this was 590 mm. After that we have found out the distance of center of reaction of these two columns. Means the load on this column is 1000, whereas on this column it is 1500. So effective point at which this combination of load will act is at 2.16 distance from center of column A. So it is 2.16. This distance is 1.44, and the outer projection from the center of B is 1.31. So we have calculated this information or this data. This total length of footing which we have got is 5.5 meter, and this dimension of footing, that is width of footing, is 1.8 meter. We have computed it. Now the third step will be to calculate the third dimension of footing. This will be depth. So for calculating the depth, we'll first use the criteria of bending and we'll calculate the trial depth. Later on we'll check it for the other criteria of shear. Okay, so for calculating the depth of footing, we should require some data which will write bending moment distribution. We'll calculate bending moment distribution first. We'll see the bending moment acting at different points, and we'll calculate the depth for maximum bending moment. So for this we require the factored load on column A, that will be 1.5 into 1000. So it will be 1500 kilonewton. Second, factored load on B, that will be 1.5 into 1500 load on column B, that is 2250 kilonewton. I have already done this calculation, so I am writing directly. Third, fraction of soil or reaction of soil on footing per meter run. Okay, so to calculate this, what will you do? You will calculate the upward soil pressure for factored loading 2250 divided by footing area. So it will be 681.818 kilonewton per meter. So we have calculated the reaction of soil on footing. Okay, now let me revise how this reaction of soil on footing per meter run is calculated. We know that the total loading on total factor loading on column A and B is 1500 kilonewton and 2250 kilonewton. If you want to calculate the total load per unit length, then we have to divide this total load by length of footing. So length of footing which we have calculated was 5.5 meter. So we have divided total load, factored load, divided by length. So we have got reaction of soil on footing per meter run or per meter length. So this is again UDL, uniformly distributed load. Now I will show you the condition of loading for footing. So this is our column A, this is column B, and this is the footing which is experiencing it is having some projection at beyond the column. So it is experiencing upward pressure from soil. So if you invert this condition, if you rotate in 180 degree, so it will be like this. So this type of problem had been solved by us in theory of structural mechanics, or strength of material, for calculation of bending moment. Okay, so now what will you do? We'll write the given or computed data. This value of UDL we have calculated 681.818 kilonewton per meter. This projection is known to us, that is 590 mm. This is also known to us, that is 1.31 meter, or you can also write it in mm. I am mentioning the unit, so that's why I am writing in meter or mm. Okay, so this distance is known to us already, 3.6 meter. Okay, so this is the total loading diagram. If you approximately draw the BMD for this case, you will get BMD like this. Okay, it means that the point under column will create some sagging force and sagging moment here, and the point in between two columns will have some hogging moment. So we have to calculate values of this moments, bending moments, and we'll see which value of bending moment is higher in order to design the depth for higher value. Okay, so we'll calculate the bending moment at 3 points, 1, 2 and 3. So first of all, we'll calculate the bending moment at column A. So bending moment, so we'll calculate bending moment under column A. So bending moment under column A will be, if you calculate the bending moment at A, you have to take this part for calculation of bending moment, because it will be simple for us to take the moment on left side. So to calculate moment at this point, we'll take this UDL. So it will be 681.818. To convert this UDL into force, we'll multiply by its length, that is 590. So 0.590. Here it is in kilonewton meter, so kilonewton per meter, so that's why we have taken in meter. So if you multiply this UDL with length, you will get force. So you have to take the moment. So moment of this force will be considered at the center of UDL, so that's why it will be here. So the distance from distance of effective force from this point will be half of the outer projection. So 0.59 into 0.59 divided by 2. So simply it will be 681.818 into 0.59 square divided by 2. Okay, so if you calculate this, you will get 118.67. This is moment, so we'll write the unit as kilonewton meter. Okay, so this is moment under column A. Similarly, we'll calculate bending moment under column B. So it will be 681.818 into, now I will directly take the projection here. So it is 1.31 here. So we'll take 1.31 square divided by 2 directly. So if you calculate this, you will get 585.03 kilonewton meter. Okay, now we have calculated the bending moment under A and B. Now we are also interested in this hogging moment, because we wanted to know the maximum value of bending moment for calculation of depth. So first of all, we'll determine where the hogging moment will be maximum. We know that the hogging moment is maximum where the shear force is 0. So in order to or the force acting at point is 0. So effective force acting on point is 0. So in order to calculate the effective force from one column, we'll take column A, that is from left side. So I'll write the statement first. The maximum hogging moment act at a point where effective force is 0. We'll consider the section from left side. At this particular section, we'll consider that the effective force is 0. So we'll equate the forces on left side, so that we'll calculate the distance of the section from the left point. Okay, so we have considered this section at x. So we'll take the forces on equilibrium of forces on left side. So consider section at distance x from left side at this effective force is 0, equating forces on left side of section. So if you equate the forces on left side of this section, you will get one force which is of factored load of column is 1500. So it will be 1500 in upward direction. So we'll take it as a positive, and this UDL is acting in the downward direction. So we'll take that as a negative. So this UDL force will be this UDL into length. So x is the length of section from this point. So we'll take 681.818 into x. We'll take this as negative, and we'll take 1500 as positive. So equal to 0. It should be 0. Now we'll calculate the value of x. So this section is at 2.2 from 2.2 meter from the left edge of the footing. So if this column is at this point, so the section is at this place. So we'll take moment at the section having maximum hogging moment. So to calculate the moment, we'll write formula first. So it will be 681.818 into, so UDL will be from this point to till the section, so that's why it will be 2.2 square divided by 2. I am directly writing this, and this force will create some negative, this is anti-clockwise, so this will be negative, this is positive clockwise. So 1500 into this distance is 2.2 minus 0.59. Okay, now if you calculate this, you will get value as 765 kilonewton meter. So this is, we know that this is hogging moment. So in the bracket we'll write hogging. Okay, so now we have got three moments, which is one at A, second at B, and third at point of maximum hogging moment. Okay, now we'll see what are the values of moment obtained at A, B, and the third point. Okay, you can see that the moment under A is 118, around 118. I am not writing the as it is value. The moment at B is around 585, and at C is 765. It means that this value is higher, so we'll take this value of moment for calculation of trial depth. So we all know that the trial depth from bending criteria is calculated by equating limiting moment with maximum bending moment at any section. So this is the maximum bending moment. So we'll equate this with maximum moment, bending moment of force. Okay, so these are bending moments. So the formula for limiting moment with grade of steel varies. Okay, for 415 steel it is 0.138 FCK BD square. For 250 steel it is 0.148 FCK BD square, whereas for 500 it is 0.133 FCK BD square. Here we have to remember these formulas. These are important for civil engineers. Every civil engineer knows these values. Okay, so for 415 steel you will use this formula of limiting moment. So we'll equate 765. I will take the value into 10 raised to 6 equal to, just I have convert this 10 raised to 6 is written in order to convert this value in Newton mm. So it will be 0.138 FCK is 20, B is 1800, and D square is to be calculated. If you calculate D from this equation, you will get value as, I will just calculate it, 392.4 mm. Okay, so this is the trial depth which we have calculated. We'll see the next part in the next video.